In this project, I'm going to go over my water-cooled Ryzen PC build. This is my first PC build in over 7 years, and outside of the obvious performance gains, one of the things I noticed with this build is most cases do not come with any drive bays. Also, cable management seems to be emphasized, as well as the use of solid-state drives. Before we get into the Ryzen build, I want to show you the PC that it will be replacing. This is a machine I built 7 years ago, AMD processor, 1050 Ti graphics card. This was about a $1,500 build at the time, and you can use it as a reference point for comparing to the new build. So with that, let's jump right into it. In this video, you'll see me assembling this PC component by component. But before I do so, I want to explain why I bought this computer. I built this computer primarily for video editing, making videos such as this. I'm not really a hardcore gamer, but I do play occasionally. I did have a budget. I had $1,500 to spend, and I think I did a pretty good job building the best PC I could given my budget. Please note that I did buy most of these components during Black Friday, and they were heavily discounted. I even had enough room in the budget to opt for water cooling, although I don't think I'm going to be heavily overclocking this machine. I'm going to start by telling you guys that this is going to be the first build that I ever do that is water cooled. So that should be interesting. Let's we'll start with opening up the case. So the tempered glass case, I'm going to just sit down. So let's start by getting the power supply in the bottom here. Let's remove this side of the case as well. Wow. Looks like a pouch for the spare power cords that aren't going to be used, as this is a modular power supply. What that means is you only attach the power wires that you need. Wow, this is easily the nicest power supply I've ever purchased. Look at that. That. Take a look at the motherboard. Wow. Very nice. Alright, finally our CPU. Well, not finally, but our CPU. And the Ryzen 2700x, second generation Ryzen chip. Here's the chip. Ryzen 7. So now comes time to put the Ryzen CPU into the AM4 socket. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's fairly simple. Step one is you raise the retention bar. You got to make sure this is open all the way or the CPU will not drop in. In this corner you'll see a little triangle. This triangle needs to be oriented with the triangle on the motherboard socket, and in our case it's right there. It's hard to see, and I don't even think my camera will focus if I tried to put it down there, but that is the orientation that I need to match the placement of this CPU. It should just drop in nicely. Shouldn't have to force anything. Should just fall right into place, like so. After that, lower the retention bar. So that was it. If you've never installed one, it's that easy to install. The retention bar is holding it in place. Alright, so next step is to remove this bracket, factory bracket, because we are not using the factory cooler. So these little guys actually replace that little plastic piece I just removed. Get installed like so. I'm going to finish removing the back, or the other side rather. Now that the processor is on the board, I'm going to use the provided hardware to install the motherboard into the case. Okay, now that the motherboard is installed, I'm going to start mounting all the other accessories or the items like the radiator and the power supply. This piece right here actually makes it simple to install the radiator because this piece is modular and comes out very easily. Should have been easier than I made it look, but this is where I'm going to mount the radiator. And over, I'm mounting that radiator onto here. So when I put it back in, it can be done after the fact instead of during the build, which makes it simple and in my opinion is a great design. So I'm going to go ahead and mount the fans, the supplied fans, as well as the radiator onto that bracket and just test fit everything. That fits nicely like a glove. Now it's time to install my SSD, solid state 970 Evo from Samsung. This is a 500 gig model. There's a little heat shield here that's got some adhesive, thermal adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here after I boot up and get everything installed and make sure everything works. I don't want to put it on there before that because it might just be a waste of time and I don't want to use that if I don't have to. So just making sure I get everything in place before getting that squared away. Alright, the next thing are these G.Skill Trident Z DDR4 memory sticks or RAM. They're 16 gig total, 2x8. Time for the graphics card. I chose a 1070 Ti NVIDIA with 8 gigs of RAM. It actually came with the Fortnite NVIDIA bundle, which, for those of you that play Fortnite, I play on my Xbox. But the deal was that if you bought this, it came with a $45 value, which came with 2,000 V-Bucks and skin and pickaxe, glider, etc. Okay, so I went ahead and routed some of the power cables to there. You see the motherboard there, and leveraged the existing cable management from the HS500i case, which I'm already impressed with. Now what I have to do is take the wires from the case and go ahead and put them into these pins here. Obviously have to reference the instruction manual to get the pin placement just right. But really what that is mapping all the built-in USB, power, audio capabilities of this case onto the board. So here is how the cable management looks so far. So one of the things that you might notice is this is still on here. This needs to be swapped out for the AMD bracket. The reason I haven't done that yet is this little plastic cover that protects the thermal paste that's already on there only fits this bracket. So at the very end, I'm going to take this off, put the AMD bracket on that was supplied, and then mount it to the CPU. Apply AMD bracket. Swap this guy out. Now I'm ready to swap this guy out in favor of the AMD bracket. Right, the first one's going to be this USB cable, which goes right here, like so. This proprietary connector goes in here, and it has 3 outputs. Okay, that's secure. There's a 3-pin that connects to the 4-pin. Let me see if I can get you a good angle here. This connector needs to be connected to the power supply. Just a SATA connector for power. So I'm gonna hide it behind here. The last cable is for the radiator fans. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hide this back here and connect it to the fans. Actually, we'll go up and through here like these ones. So again, another nice clean setup. Alright, so here's the final look. Everything is being funneled to the back there, nice and clean. Can even tuck that a little bit more. Everything is out of the way of the fan. This thing again is just mocked up there. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 2 thumb screws where they belong and tighten it all up. Alright, so now it's time to mount the power supply and fix the cables that we have. It is a mess back there, but it looks good on the front. We just need to trim up the back and make that look just as nice. Right, last but not least, 1070 Ti. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and hopefully I earned a subscribe from you today. Do stay in tune because I have lots of other projects underway, including more E30 projects as well as some other woodworking and other projects in general. So thank you, and we'll see you on the next project.